Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by TokenMetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on the alerts bell so you know when we're going live, because we're looking to expand the times and days where we go live. And of course, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. All right, let's see who's on the stream here. We have Love from Kuwait. All right, Megan, hi. Ali from London. Taz, welcome. Jojo, first on the stream. Okay, Boss Nova, the Caribbean is here. Okay, Derek, I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Okay, someone likes the new hat. My daughter picked it out. Cool. Cincinnati. Okay, Fort Hood, Texas, home of the 4th Infantry Division. Canada, New Mexico, right? Corona, California. Bangalore, India, crypto future, right? Up late at night. And don't forget, Frankfurt, Germany is there. Okay, Bulgaria in the house. Oregon, right? Holden, welcome. Welcome to our friends, East Coast, West Coast, and of course, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, people, let's kick it. Here comes your market update. Kentucky came in. Welcome. All right. SHIB, Monero, and inflation. Okay, here's a preview. Get out of the stock market. Get out of the stock market, right? And try to protect your crypto holdings as best you can. Let's get it. All right, SHIB. The future of money. So SHIB came out today and gapped up a lot. Okay, it went, taking out the zeros to roughly 3,000. Right now, I'm showing that as resistance. With these meme coins, you never know. The point is, the market is trying to find different forms of money. It's trying to find different forms of money that aren't going to get killed if something happens to equities. Now, we've talked about this before, about not blowing off meme coins. So what I would do with this is, if you're clicking on this video because you want to know what to do with SHIB, I'm going to say the same thing that I always do, which is that when you have stuff like this, it's not a bull market unless you can buy a dip. So I didn't mark it on the chart, but 25.96 in SHIB, should act as support. And if it does, SHIB's good. And if it doesn't, wait. Just wait. The future of money is out there, but you don't have to chase stuff up 20%. Now, Monero is a little bit more interesting. Okay, Monero obviously goes from 128 to 228, and people are looking to take profits. 222 is support. Monero might be able to gravitate to 307. Okay, Zcash, I also noticed, I didn't put the chart in here, was also on support. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to keep an eye on the future of money, but you don't want to be Johnny late to the trade. Because in this market this year, if something moons, it's paid to just get out, right? Especially if it's a big rally, right? It hasn't paid like Zilliqa or Waves. If it moons, you take the money. Okay, if there are small dips, you can buy that in an overall trend. But once it's a moonshot, out. Now with Monero, because it's a bigger coin like SHIB, I'm interested to see if 222 holds. Because if crypto can range trade while equities figure out what they're going to do, then, these coins can do better. They can do better. I would follow our all exchange index on tokenmetrics.com. Oh, wait, look, here it is. So we have this thing on Token Metrics where the AI looks at a whole universe of coins on every exchange and picks the 6th best one for day trading that day. So if it's full of offensive coins like, you know, Bitcoin, Solana, you know, any type of, you know, big cap or even small cap coin, that's great. That could mean the market could go up. But when it's filled with Apple, gold, Pax Gold, right, Magic Internet Money, and, you know, 14% Maple, it's defensive. Okay. It's telling you that perhaps today is not the day to FOMO into anything. If anything, if you've got a 5% rise in altcoins, like yesterday, we're like, hey, don't sell it in a hole. But with crypto up today, today is the day where you might consider adjusting positions, particularly when we talk about the dollar and the stock market. So as we speak, the dollar index is now over 100. Okay. Inflation is basically out of control, and the Fed is going to leave it up to the bond market to take care of it. Like the fact that there was no rate hike today off that number is basically telling you that the Fed wants the bond market to take down the stock market. Okay. It's as simple as that. Now, yes, I got news here that SHIB pumped because it's listed on Robinhood. Okay. You know, they even need the future of money on Robinhood. And then we have, you know, New England is here as well as we talk about the dollar. Okay. Now, when the dollar index goes above 100, that can be an indication that, you know, bonds and stocks are in trouble. Okay. So no one wants to sell Bitcoin at 40K, and I don't either. But if the dollar continues to go up, right, that can actually be something that puts crypto on pause. So watch the dollar index. Now, on a big picture basis, if you look at like a monthly chart of the dollar index, there were 2 other instances where the dollar went up, right? The start of the PC revolution in 1996, Dell Computer. The last time the Fed tried to stop printing money in 2014. And this one is the inflation trade. Okay. Has the dollar fully reflected how much interest rates can go up? I don't know, but it's tough to get excited about crypto with the dollar index above 100. Now, this is from today's inflation numbers. The red line is wages. So it's your wages or people's wages or an index of people's wages minus inflation. Okay. Minus inflation. And as you can see, it's in the red. So people are getting destroyed by inflation as if you didn't know that, right? Getting destroyed. And the Fed didn't do anything about it today. So the Fed's going to leave it up to the market. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to protect your purchasing power, make sure you have cash on hand or stables, have some Bitcoin or future of money, right? But not too much crypto. So if equities crater, because that's what the Fed wants. Make no mistake. The Fed wants equities to crater as the way to slow down the economy and inflation, right? The people who are getting killed here with negative real rates don't own stocks. And if they do, they don't care. It's in their 401k. What they care about is, can they pay their bills? So let's look at the long bond yield, okay? The long bond yield is possibly headed for 3%. Right? Because again, the Fed hasn't done anything to stop inflation. And the instrument historically that does stop inflation is 30-year bonds, because that rate is attached to 30-year mortgages. So if bond yields continue to rise, I mean, yesterday they were hysterical before the number. So if they chill out today and the rally in bond yields resumes, okay, bond yields are going to go up until stocks get wrecked. Okay, so here's stocks. Okay, the S&P is at, this is SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500. We showed this yesterday where there was resistance at, 445. Okay, that's where resistance is. Okay, if you look at the S&P 500 index itself, it's sitting right near the 55-day moving average, 55-day exponential moving average. It's also near the 21-day, and the 200-day is not far below. The red line, I just showed that as the 55-day. Resistance is at 44.81, and the price target is down 10%. Okay, so rates are going to go up until stocks go down. It's as simple as that, right? Because that's what the Fed wants, and number one motto is don't fight the Fed. Now, the longer it takes for equities to go down, the better it is for crypto, right? Because you can trade crypto in a range, right? Like there are lots of traders out there, okay? You know, and all year long, we've talked about this, that it doesn't really pay to buy it when it's up or sell it when it's down. Now, that will continue until equities crack. All right. Now, looking deeper at equities, this is SPY on the DeMark chart, okay, for 4 hours. Okay. So, yes, somebody is telling me to use ES. Don't worry. Yes, I have ES coming up. Okay. SPY 4 hour has a gap and resistance, right? So, there's no sign of any DeMark bottom in stocks. Now, as requested, here's ES. That's S&P futures. So 44.43 is the level, right? If it's above it, stocks are okay, and you continue to trade crypto in a range. Stocks are below that, you've got event risk, okay? Because when they digest this inflation number and they figure out that the Fed has left the market to their own devices, okay? People have said there's a top in inflation today, okay? Well, perhaps with the number there is, but that's not what's happening out there practically in the world. Just because inflation doesn't go to 11% doesn't mean that the problems created by the inflation are going to go away. So that has to get fixed one way or the other. Either the Fed has to do it or it has to let the market do it. Now let's talk about crypto. The future of money. How are people going to protect their purchasing power? Well, they got to use crypto, right? Hello, Estonia, welcome. Okay. So if the dollar index gets rejected at 100 and ETH comes back above 3071, then this idea of like range trading crypto holds, right? It wasn't a buy at 3600 and it didn't pay to sell it at 3000. 3000 was a prior high. So it's like you got to play the level game. If ETH is above 3071, okay. If not, okay, ETH can be affected by stocks, right? What I'm looking for is for stocks to drop and to give me an amazing buying opportunity in Bitcoin and ETH. That's what I'm hoping happens. But I totally get it. It's almost stupid to get bearish crypto when crypto is not the problem. Crypto's the solution. The problem is stocks. Now, what do you do in the meantime? You're like, gee, Bill, that's nice. What do I do with that? Well, you make sure you adjust your positions. You make sure that there's a 10% drop in equities. You got enough stable coins to rush into the market and grab crypto. Because if crypto goes down with stocks, crypto won't stay down. Stocks might, but crypto won't. Now, these are the levels that I gave you yesterday from our quant group, right? 3180 is now resistance. 2978 is support. So that may be your trading range in ETH if we go sideways. And I think the juicier buy in ETH is 2644. Okay. What kind of period we talking about for stocks to dump? Okay, that's a good question. Honestly, I think they could do it all in one day. Right? Everyone's just going to wake up and go, oh shit, and sell. Right? Now they can't do 10% in one day, but they can do 5%, 5%. It's like things happen in threes. 5% down, 5% down, 5% down, all the way back the third day. That's how I remember crashes in the 90s, right? Down, 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 and back. And when stocks come back on the third day, that's when you buy crypto. That's just how I want to do it, right? In other words, I want to grab crypto at amazing prices. You gotta hold something in case stocks don't go down, okay? But the evidence that interest rates are going to go up until stocks break is substantial. Okay, Bitcoin. So 41.6K is resistance and 39.1 is support. So nobody wants to sell Bitcoin below 40K. I get that, right? I totally get that. Although I will show you something in a minute that might make you bearish Bitcoin. Okay, it might. All right. But again, Bitcoin below 36 or below 40 is something you can dollar cost average in all the way down to 28. I'm just not interested in being short Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is the thing you want to be grabbing if they give you a dip. All right. Now, let's talk about investment advisor. NASDAQ survey of financial advisors who control huge amounts of assets find 72% would be more likely to invest in crypto if a spot ETF were available. So if the Securities and Exchange Commission approves a Bitcoin ETF that actually holds physical Bitcoin, okay, then 86% would plan to increase their allocation to crypto, right, to where their sort of clients are 6% invested, right? So people who manage money or act as basically advisors or glorified stockbrokers want to increase their portfolio holdings of crypto to 6%. Now you're like, that's good. And it is. It's good adoption for crypto. However, I will remind you that when the Bitcoin ETF came out, that was the absolute top of the market. I don't have the chart up, but this crowd, these advisors, okay, advisors is in quotes, okay? It's quotes, okay? These guys haven't had to do anything but buy S&P and be overweight FANG stocks. That's all they've had to do for 12 years. Okay, longer than that. So when they want to buy crypto, I'm like, is this the smartest money in the market or not? Because they haven't had to think for 12 years. Now, when I read this, I'm like, okay, what this crowd will do, okay, jokes aside, is the stock market mentality is if it's down, they want to buy stuff when it crashes. So if crypto actually went down, that's why I say crypto won't stay down, because this crowd is waiting down there, whether there's a physical Bitcoin ETF or not. I'm not a regulatory analyst, but I do think there's going to be a really strong bid for Bitcoin if there is a flush, right? If there's no flush, then 39K was it. We'll see, right? We'll see. Okay. So this is the Bitcoin ETF. This is BITO, right? There's a 9 bottom. I know there's a lot of gaps on this chart. And the big question is with the Bitcoin ETF, okay, it's down, right? It was at 30. It's now at 24. Let's see someone show up and buy it, right? Let's, it's dipped. It's at the bottom end of a diagonal range. This is where you should see stock market investors moving out of S&P and into Bitcoin. So let's see if they do it, right? I mean, Bitcoin at 40K isn't a sell, but you definitely want to see someone come in and say, all right, yeah, I want to buy it. And the Bitcoin ETF may be the best place to follow that. Now, let's just review some of the positive altcoin picks. So let's forget all the macro stuff. If we're just talking altcoins, right, I've got some new work on NEAR. So I did a redraw of the hidden pivots, and it turns out 14.5 was really good support in NEAR, and it's held twice. So if everything is copacetic with Twitter, and yes, please hit the like button. I appreciate that. Okay. If 14.5 holds, 21.5 is next. Okay. So our fundamental guys like NEAR, and NEAR held support. There's also a big accumulation cone in NEAR. What's that? Well, it's from a book. Okay. It's from a character in a book called Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. The guy's name was Jesse Livermore. He wrote the first technical analysis book as his trading diary. When you get these cones, all right, when the market sort of consolidates in an upward sloping band, it can be the prelude to a parabolic. So if Bitcoin is stable at 40, okay, and stocks don't go down, if stocks just let bond yields just go up, right? We just do the oblivious thing. We've been doing it. They've been doing it for a while. That could allow some of these big altcoins to take off, or it could allow NEAR to become the one coin market, because we've seen it, right? We saw it last year with AVAX, okay? Solana before that, then AVAX, right? Phantom had a mind of its own, okay? Then Solana took off on its own again, hosed us, but it took off again. And then NEAR could be next. Because if this is ETH 2.0 before ETH 2.0, then everybody may not be, everyone who's long other layer ones may be long the wrong stuff. And if hedge funds turn around in crypto and don't have anything else to buy, in other words, if Bitcoin is not a buy or a sell at 40K, right, it's neutral, right? If ETH can't really get going again on the upside, there is downside risk there, even though no one wants to sell ETH at all. I don't. It's okay. But if there's downside risk in those other currencies, this one could take off. Now, the other level we're looking at in NEAR is 1760. So we think the support is between 1573 and 1445. If NEAR is above 1760, it can really go. So as long as the market holds together, the focus is on NEAR. Now, let's bring up digital cash solutions. Now, if inflation is destroying people, digital cash has to rally. And if digital cash doesn't rally, what do I always say? If something should go up and it doesn't, what's it going to do? Okay, so in Nano, okay, 232 is an important level. So if Nano with a 13 bottom and a nice ABC correction can recover above 232, digital cash can do better. Okay, digital cash can do better. Okay, Litecoin, yes, I know, don't laugh. Litecoin at 100 is a very interesting place, all right, that makes me wonder, particularly with the situation in the Ukraine, whether or not there's a market for fast Bitcoin. Now, obviously, if the market gets wrecked, this will probably get wrecked worse. But it's approaching a 9 bottom, and there's support at 100. So if crypto does not go down, somebody was talking about NEAR going to 33, and yes, I am going to do Luna. Luna might actually be a buy. Okay, in other words, there are coins that may be a buy that you just say, all right, well, I'm going to grab it, and if stocks blow up, I'll stop out and come back, right? Litecoin, NEAR, and Nano could be one of those coins. Nano has more work to do, but Litecoin at 100, I'm interested to see if a bid shows up. Now, this is Luna on Q, right? So on Luna, may be hard to see, but there's a 13 bottom. So there's a 9 and a 13 bottom right around 80. So Luna at 125, no. But Luna down here between, say, 87 and 75, right? That could be where you start moving into Luna, because, again, somewhere in the world, if equities fall apart and bonds fall apart, right, someone's going to want these stable coin platforms. So, you know, they may have flushed everybody out. They may take it below 80, but this is more interesting to me now than it was, say, a month ago. Now, just to give you an idea of the pain in the world, this is synthetics. So 62% of the retracement in synthetics, 62% retracement of the recent run up is 522. Synthetics was a leader on the way up. Okay. So CoronaNet says these coins are dead already. That may be true, right? If digital cash is dead and synthetics can't move again, then you're right. This stuff's ancient history. But if synthetics can recover above 522, that's a good sign for the market. If it can't, be careful, right? So let's sum it up. Okay, let's one more chart. So we have Kyber. Okay, this is a Token Metrics favorite. Don't worry, we'll get to AVAX and Solana. I'm all over it. Okay, Kyber on a weekly chart looks toppy. There was a 13 top about 4 weeks ago. Then there was this huge blow off top to 4.5. So as I said, if you got a coin that mooned, right, like from $1 to $4, you got to seriously ask yourself, okay, should I take that money? Because every time something has either mooned, right, like Kyber, or collapsed like Aave, right? Aave was a monster buy at the bottom. All right. So anytime these things get to an extreme, it pays to take profits. One final note, if bonds and stocks, if the bond market doesn't take care of inflation, so let's pretend stocks and bonds just tread water. What's the next big trade? I think it's precious metals. It's the teacup and handle. This is silver on a 2-week chart. Okay. And gold has been doing better than Bitcoin lately, obviously, right? Because gold hasn't gone anywhere and Bitcoin has gotten slammed. So let's sum it up. Stocks in trouble. Bond yields won't stop rising. Okay. If stocks are in trouble, you need to have stable coins ready to buy crypto. Because if crypto goes down off a drop in stocks, crypto will not stay down. It will not. Now, crypto may not go down at all, which would be the preferred scenario, right? People are out there, right, buying it when everyone is in despair and selling it when everybody is euphoric. That's what's worked. Yes, we got a little bit twisted up, as somebody noted in the comments, but it's a daily show, and every day is a new day to figure out what to do to make money, and that is the market update. Okay, so let's go to the charts because I know people are really pumped up. Okay, so we've got AVAX, Solana, Luna, which we talked about. Okay, someone's asking me about Astra DAO. I cannot comment on that, right? Other than to say it's not a Token Metrics owned product. Okay, so let's get into it right now. Let's get busy. Okay, so I'm bringing up the DeMark work on layer ones. All right, so we'll start with Solana. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we started liking Solana. We noticed it lower, okay, and a lot of people jumped in up here. Now, those people, I wanted to do a 117 stop, okay, because I didn't want you to have to puke it out below 100. So there's a 13 bottom, right? There's a 13 bottom in Solana, and I think support is cleanly at 102. So if Solana is at 102, Solana could be interesting, right? That's why I wanted everyone to get out at 119, save yourself $20, and if you want to get back in, you can try it. Okay. Personally, on all this stuff, I would do near. If you're going to hold risk, hold near. Okay. If stocks go down and then turn around and come back for whatever reason, then you can start jumping into this other stuff. That's how I would do it. So I've got Phantom up here. Now, Phantom, which actually totally underperformed, right? Like Phantom has done nothing. And what's the best time to own Phantom? When it's underperformed and done nothing. So you have a 13 bottom in Phantom, right? And, you know, Phantom had a lot of support right around this $1.18 level. So if Phantom can close up, right? Or Phantom, if ETH and Bitcoin don't do as well, but Phantom is like up 5%, then you have an indication that someone wants to own Phantom, right? In other words, the market has paid you to buy all this stuff when it's destroyed, right? So there's the 13 bottom in Phantom, and tomorrow or soon, you will probably get the 9 bottom. So, I'm interested in these DeFi plays like Luna and Phantom just because they've gotten killed, right? I mean, I know you got to take risk that stocks fall apart. We know that, okay? And if stocks do fall apart, then you have to protect yourself. But, if we forget about stocks and just focus on crypto, man, okay? So this is the 4-hour chart of Luna. Okay, there's the 13 bottom, there's the 9 bottom. Now, if you look at the daily chart, somebody says Phantom is my go-to when it's time to short. Okay, that's interesting, right? So with Luna, there was support around 87. So I think the way I would work Luna is, yes, it's nice that there's a bottom on the intraday chart, but we have to show that people are willing to pay higher prices. So I'm interested in this. It's down, right? It's near support, but you want to see a positive close. You don't want to see people selling any uptick to get out with fear of stocks. There's no fear of stocks, and Luna's above 87. Go for it. Okay, let's do AVAX. Okay, so there's the 9 bottom. Okay. So AVAX is just in one of these situations where it's in a range between 100 and 75. Right? And every time it goes through 100, you sell it. And every time it goes below 75 or 72, it's paid to buy it. Actually, something like that. Right. Now, it may be as simple as that, right? There's a 9 top here and there's a 9 bottom. And guys who trade ranges, that's just what they've been doing, right? That's what they've been doing. Now, the only thing you have to be careful of is the failed rally, okay? So once a range becomes so well-defined, it feels easy, okay? If it's too easy, if there's a rally in Avalanche and it fails, just like Luna, if you get the failed rally, okay, that is the sign to GTFO or get in stables to protect yourself. Litecoin I did already. I like support around 100. Somebody asking for ARK. Okay, that is the altcoins of the stock market. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, when I look at a daily chart of ARK, I just see people selling rallies, right? Okay, again, with ARK, there's the 9 bottom, okay? And then there's that counter trend rally. So for anybody who's new, you go down, right? DeMark work, you go 1 through 9. That's called the setup phase. Now, that's either the end, if we're in a range, or if it's a trend, it'll be 1 through 9. That counts a set of conditions, like the high is higher than the high 2 days ago, okay? But we just count the conditions because it's complicated. That's why he simplified it with the numbers. So 1 through 9 in a trend is called setup. Then there's a counter trend move right here, which is pretty robust, right? You had this snap up, okay, on the inflation number, right? Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Equities, everything is okay in equities all the time, right? Like the number comes out, everyone was afraid, and then the number's out, and now they're just going to pretend like inflation's not there. Please. The Fed has to take down the stock market, and people who own ARK have to get out if they can, okay? Because ARK was all the way down at 52 at one point. And if someone's willing to pay you 62 or 66, you got to take that and exit. So I'm not hating on this, but what I am saying is people in equities are looking for the door. That's what I think. Okay, Tammy, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Boss Nova wants to know good coins to get into now. Okay. Near Protocol would be my answer. Really. Because that looks like a one coin market to me. Now, Mina is an example of what I've been talking about, right? So you have a 9 bottom, you have a 13 bottom. That's good, right? Okay. It rockets up to support at a resistance at 260. It tries to get above this old support line and it can't do it. It can't do it, right? And this, now I'm not, this, I want everybody's altcoin to go up, okay? But if you have failed rallies, that's a danger sign, okay? The buy spot in this, or the stopping point, is probably 222. Okay, this is ORN. So this is a balance between bulls and bears. So you get the 13 top, it goes down, and then people buy the dip, which is very interesting. So it's jogging in place, and there's this huge battle going on between bulls and bears. So 346 is support. That was the 9 bottom, right, yesterday. And then it looks like it's headed back for the top end of the range, which is either 429 or it's either 429 or, oh, I didn't get anything on that. Okay, it's either 429 or 435. Okay, that's how I would look at ORN. Okay, SYLO. Okay, not available here. SYLO one more time. All right, very interesting chart. Okay, so 0.0049 is support. I think if you really want this thing to take off, you got to see it above 0.0058. Okay, that's where I would be looking to buy it. That's how I would do it. Okay, Polkadot. By the way, folks, the only place to get on-demand TA on YouTube is right here. All right, so on a 4-hour chart, Polkadot has a 13 or a 9 bottom and has a huge puke lower. So Polkadot's got to get back above 1833 to be good. Okay, the good news in Polkadot is we're approaching a 9 bottom on the daily chart. Okay, so if equities don't go down, you maybe have one more day, or if equities do go down all in one day, right? If they just blow it out, then Polkadot will probably put in a bottom. Okay, support is down there at 15, but you already know that. So if you're in Polkadot, what you want to see is you want to see one more down day or one more sideways day and then a rally. Because it's really hard to believe, again, with the way Polkadot trades, this could be a head and shoulders bottom, right? So if you assume, like, if you just forget the whole legacy thing and focus on these things and buying them when they're destroyed, Polkadot could be really interesting below 17, right? Okay, someone wants to look at gold. Okay, I'm going to look at GLD in the equity market just to make sure I get the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to do gold weekly. Now, when you look at this, gold has done nothing because it's been held back by the dollar, right? Higher dollar is not good for gold. Okay, but if gold starts to go up anyway, particularly if gold is outperforming Bitcoin, okay, so the trade may be stocks down, crypto sideways, gold up. Who's talking about that? Nobody. Nobody. And RAI is into gold in its daily index. So wouldn't it be funny if gold was the thing that actually took off? Okay, Cosmos, another coin I'm not that interested in selling when it's down. Okay, so Cosmos on the daily chart, yesterday was the 13 bottom, the big puke, right? Everybody running scared of the inflation number. Okay, except, you know, in my mind, this is not the thing to run scared of. This is not the type of product where inflation fears impact it. This is layer 0 and it's connected somehow to Luna. So yeah, it's not good. And the ultimate buy point for Cosmos is probably just below 20. So you're going to have a 13 bottom. You're going to have a 9 bottom, but that doesn't automatically mean it's going to go up. So if you get a flush, Cosmos at 20 is where it's at. Okay. Flux. All right. So we talked about this yesterday. They puked it right into support at $1.42. So it's really hard to tell somebody, because I'm not, that selling support has not worked. Buying resistance has not worked. So there's the 13 bottom in Flux. There's the give up trade on the 4-hour chart. Okay. And you probably got 2 days to see whether or not Flux can unwind this give up, or whether when they cracked it, you know, when they got it below $1.53. So I think for Flux to go up, you want to see it get above $1.53. So there was a lot of support down here. And now we have to see whether or not people are going to be coming in to pay higher prices. Okay, so I see Rune in the chat. Is it time to sell and go away? Well, if you have profits, it's time to take them and put them in stable coins so that if this market goes down, you can take advantage of it. Okay, really, Rune is a classic example, right? Rune goes straight up, right? Top favorite coin, but it does the 13 top, then it goes down. You think you're going to get a 9 bottom, and then it keeps going down. So this may be one of these things, and we've seen this all year long, right? Big moonshot trades, right? There's a huge unwind. Like, it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. I know. But like, this would be the dip. These are the dips, the little ones. Once something goes from 3 to 13, it hasn't paid to buy the dip this year. It has not. Okay. Rune is a really good project. They've had technical execution risk. And I think you buy Rune if it recovers and get back above 838. So that's when, when Rune dips and then comes back, you've been paid to go with it, like here, right? So when Rune dipped, you got paid to basically go with it as soon as it broke out. So that's how I would trade these type of things. Okay, OGN, I think I did. Wax. Okay, so there's Wax. And it's really hard to say anything else other than it's at support at 27 cents. And you're probably looking at a 9 bottom within the next day or two. So how do you play this? Well, there's a 13 and a 9 bottom. Okay, there's resistance in Wax at 28 cents. And there's another resistance point at 30. So it's got to start taking out resistance. It's one thing to destroy it and have it have an oversold bounce, but can they push higher? So if ETH can push higher, all these smaller coins can bounce off support, even Litecoin, right? Audio, another buy support, sell resistance classic, right? No one wanted it at 60 cents, and then everyone wanted it at $1.50, and now it's back at $1. Okay. So $1 is kind of like equilibrium for Audius, maybe. They're supported at $1.04, but let's go back. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so this move up here was a 5 wave, right? And that 0 really indicates that could be a hard top. Okay. So I don't know if I'm saying Audius is going back to 60 cents, but that may have been your upside in Audius unless there's a monster fundamental catalyst. Okay, someone was asking about why October was a bottom for 2022. So there's a lot of Gann work, timing work, that indicates that anywhere between August and October could be when the bottom comes. Now, that's working off equities. Okay, so crypto may bottom before that. I just think, you cannot have interest rates go up and up. You cannot have the ports at Shanghai closed with inflation rampaging and have that be good for stocks, right? So if crypto doesn't get caught in stocks, then you can carry on. And maybe the way to do it is to, and I may do this, just stop talking about stocks and keep it crypto only. So with Binance Coin, there's 411 is the key point. So if it's above 411, it's good, right? They really wash this out hard. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart. Now, if you go back to the daily, okay, so let's do a fib retracement here. So Binance Coin held a 50% retracement, and it held the 62% retracement of its recent rally, right? So the 62% retracement was 398. And there's a 9 bottom coming here somewhere. So, you know, Binance coin looks okay. Like of all the cryptos we've looked at today, other than Near, this actually looks pretty good because when they killed it, people wanted it. Okay, OGN one more time. Okay, computer slowed down a little bit there. Sorry. So OGN has support at 31 cents. Okay, a lot of times when you have these things that go from $2.20 to $1, right? It pays to take the money. There's support at 44 cents. You have a 13 and a 9 bottom, but the question is it going to produce a rally? So let's just take a minute to check the market. Okay. So ETH is coming off a little bit. Okay. Everything up about 1%. That's par for the course. Oh, but look at stocks. Oh, wait a minute. You know, I charted this thing for 12 years. And if you look at this Williams oscillator, this is like the 89-minute chart. Like when that thing gets to sort of its neutral range, okay, if you're expecting a trend to continue, right when that Williams awesome oscillator gets to even, that's when the move occurs. So I can't believe, I just can't believe this is 89-minute equities. I can't believe that stocks are just not going to get smashed. I mean, look at the watch list in the corner. I know I can't expand this, but you know, long bond interest rates, like the 30-year bond interest rates are moving up, right? As in inflation and US credibility are terrible. Okay. Meanwhile, 5-year interest rates, okay, are falling. Why? Because everyone's freaking out that stocks are going to blow up. So if stocks and long bonds blow up, legacy blows up. We covered all that yesterday, and I'm not boring you to death. Now, why am I bringing that up in the middle of altcoin TA? Well, because you don't want to get caught with a big position in super small coins if there's about to be an event in legacy that could hurt you, right? So Cody on the 4-hour chart, very same thing, right? 9 bottom, rally. You have to be careful that you don't have like, you know, I don't know, like 8 more or excuse me, 7 more bars, 7 more 4-hour periods. So that's like 3 days of this thing getting hurt. Right now, if you're stuck with it and you're married to it, okay, I got it. Right. But, you know, with things that go from 20 cents to 36 cents, you've been paid to take the money. Now, the good news is the 62% retracement of the up move, okay, is right around where this market is right now. So if it's above, say, 25 cents, okay, that's good. So does it pay to buy the dip or not? Does it pay to hold or not? Well, if Cody's holding the 62% retracement, you can hold it. Your downside is your risk is that the market gets hammered for 3 days. But if you've been living with it this long, then you can continue to live with it. Okay. Dora. Seems like we have more requests today. Okay. So solid support at 494. This has a different look than I've seen all day today. So this hammer candlestick means somebody wants to own this because you got decent follow through today. You got the 13 bottom, the capitulation trade, and then, you know, buyers are coming in and they're buying dips. So whatever this is, people want it. And if there's no problem in the market, theoretically, the next stop could be 653. But again, that assumes there's no problem in the market. But that does look like people want to buy it. Okay, ACH, a payment network. Okay, 13 bottom does no good, and they kill it. Okay, 0.0354 is support. So they're currently battling it out at that level. Looking at the daily chart, the best support is 0.0336, right? Because that's the 13 bottom. And if this is the final climactic puke, okay, that's where support should be. Okay, with stuff like this, if you're suffering with it, you probably have 1 to 2 days of suffering along with it, okay, depending on what equities do. Okay, I saw SYS go by. Okay, and I also saw somebody asking for XNO. All right, so XNO on the daily chart, I'm not seeing a lot happening. Although XNO is pretty close to a 62% fib number near 226. When you have these inflation numbers, I get really interested in digital cash. Okay, today it was SHIB. It was SHIB and Monero, and then it came off. Now with Nano, it's got to get above 232 because it's pretty clear that, you know, people gave up and then it bounced. People are still selling it. They're still selling it. Let's just again go back to the market, right? Okay, nothing happening, but the Bitcoin futures contract is now in the red for today. So let's see what happens there. Okay, back to DeMark. Okay, let's try KYL. Kylan, not sure if this is in the Polkadot ecosystem. Okay, so if this is above 0.076 cents, it's okay. Okay, you can see that a lot of these coins are below both their 55-day exponential moving average and their 21-day exponential moving average. Okay, and then of course, you know, just to make everyone feel good, they felt the need to run the stops above those moving averages before coming back below it. I mean, this coin in particular, the last time it was even near these moving averages was December. Okay. The good news is it's got a chance to get above them. The bad news is that when they ran the stops and they tried to break it out, everyone sold it. Everyone sold it. Oh, Axia. Let's check that out. It was like unstoppable back when we were looking at it. Like, seriously. Okay, let's take a look at it on Token Metrics. Token Metrics is where people got this coin from. Okay, not coming up there for some reason. Let's try TradingView. Actually, let's try DeMark. No love there. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm gonna have to see what's wrong there. I will figure that out. Okay, Axie is going through their mainnet launch. Okay, here comes Axia. I know my typing sucks today. Sorry. Okay. Okay, that took forever. I finally got it right. Okay. So we talked about this for a long time, having resistance at 14. Okay. We drew some charts and it never backed off. Now it's backing off now, and it's paid to buy every single dip in this thing. It's paid to buy every single dip. I like to say in this market, if you made a bunch of money, take the money and leave the rest as a moon bag. Okay. Flipburger would like some Zen Bell. Okay. Jasmine. So there's a 13 bottom in Jasmine. Support at 0.0195. Okay. And I know there's going to be a lesson here when I pull up the daily chart, right? When you get these monster moonshots, it pays to take the money. It's just paid all year. There's support at 0.0185. Okay, S-Pin says that flat line is worrisome in Axia. It is, because again, if everybody goes into this market to take profits all at once, you know, the stuff that gets washed out the hardest is the stuff where people have profits. Because every time we look at something that's gone way up, what does it do? It's gone way down. I mean, it's held every time we look at a chart. Okay, Vulcan, we had this on our other system with resistance at 19. Supports at 986. A lot of these coins have support below where the market is. Okay. I think the better news in Vulcan is that they washed it out with a 13 bottom, and they haven't been able to take it below support at 1139. So if 1139 holds on the next dip, Vulcan is okay. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not, rather. But as we've discussed, you know, it wasn't a buy at 19, and it wasn't a sell the last time it was down here at 11. So if nothing happens to stocks, the buy zone is somewhere down here below 11.5. Okay, Filecoin, you're welcome. Filecoin. Please hit the like button, folks. Okay, so Filecoin has a big support point at 1871. So again, a lot of this stuff's been destroyed already. one thing you think about when you look at something like Filecoin is you say, what are altcoins telling us about the crypto market, right? In other words, is this panic, or is this everybody going, you know what, I got to reduce risk so that if it really goes, I don't get killed? Now, if Filecoin pukes down to 1708 and holds, good, especially if you get a 9 bottom down there, all right? All right, folks, that's going to be it for today. I got to wrap it up. Let me do Stellar. Okay, so there's 18 cents is a good point. That's where support is. Sometimes it creeps me out when a market pulls up short of support. I always like to see the market break through support and then come back. Like they give up and then it comes back. But when they kind of pull up too early, it makes me worry about what happens when it goes back down. Okay, so Stellar is the same as all these other coins, right? There was a huge panic. The 13 bottom didn't really hold. There was a panic before the number. Okay, and if Stellar is above 19.1922, good. If not, keep your eye on equity. So let's have one more check of the market before we go. Okay, so ETH is holding, right? And Bitcoin is holding 40K, or trying to, right? Okay, I continue to believe, my final word is you got to keep an eye on this monster if you have altcoins. Somebody was asking about ARK. This is S&P futures, man. Okay, so if this continues, you need to be careful. You need to have money in stables or Bitcoin and be ready to swoop in if they pound it down. Because I don't see any reason, if Bitcoin can go down 15% in 3 days or 15% in a week, why can't S&P futures go down 10%? Why not? Like, why is it that Bitcoin always has to take the brunt of it? I mean, would the world end if S&P futures went down 12%? Well, you might get inflation to stop. If crypto can do it, Bitcoin is the future with crypto. If Bitcoin can go down 15%, what is going to happen to this with inflation and Shanghai ports closed? So manage altcoin risk appropriately. That's it for today, folks. I'm your host, Bill Noble. I will see you tomorrow.